Someone said to me 2016 is not a great year for movies. And I even remembered having a chat with my friends, and they said there are no great movies being made lately. I mean, sure, if you're not a fan of jazz, or the absolutely magical experience of La La Land, it's fine, I guess, because movie is subjective, right?
Moonlight, Best Picture.
And yeah, I get it, there are some missed hits in 2016. But if you're still not satisfied with the mind-blowing cerebral sci-fi Arrival, or the pinnacle clash between superheroes in Civil War, then I bet you must have missed the best movie in 2016. No, wait, not 2016, I mean the best animated movie of our time. That's right, the film is Your Name, aka Kimi no Nawa. It's the latest film made by none other than Makoto Shinkai. Usually when we think of great directors who haven't made a bad movie, we may think of Miyazaki, Stanley Kubrick, or maybe even Tarantino, Nolan, or Wes Anderson, but looks like there's an underdog in the Japanese anime film industry. Makoto Shinkai has only made 5 feature films to this day, but each and every one of them has managed to maintain a pretty high standard. And his most noticeable signature as a director is his cinematography. Now, pretty looking movies are out there 24/7, but Shinkai's vision as a director showcases not only gorgeous animations, but more importantly, a very specific set of mood. So whenever you're watching a Shinkai film, you know it's made by him because his images create a lingering mood that will haunt you days after days. Before Kimi no Nawa, his most critically acclaimed film is 5 cm per second, which owns the nickname 5 wallpapers per second due to obvious reasons. As an Asian, I always find Western romantics movies satisfying, but never really speak to the heart. For once, Shinkai uses romance as a pretense only to explore more well-defined emotions, like solitary, loneliness, the weirdness between romance and a platonic relationship with someone who is older than you, the inevitable loss of purity and innocence. His films are layered with Eastern subtlety. I remember the first time when I watched 5 cm per second, I'm like, finally, there's a movie that portrays how I truly felt about romance. It really is about the difficulty to take the first step, the excruciating loneliness waiting for someone, only to be met with disappointment. These are actually the very first comments I saw from the link of the trailer. And obviously movies are subjective, and there's never been a movie where it pleases everyone in the planet. But I just want to show you that this movie is immensely loved and popular, and there's a reason behind it. Obviously, the cinematic value and the jaw-dropping visuals are one of the main aesthetics of the film, but there's a lot more to it than just being pretty. Due to the fact that the film relies heavily on traditional hand-drawn animation, they have to employ a lot of rotoscoping in order to achieve an accurate depiction of believable movements, and they absolutely nailed it. From the incredibly complicated dancing sequence, to the pressure you felt from the chalk on the board, and from the pen on the paper, every movement is just immaculately rendered to give you the most convincing experience you can ever get from an animation. But perhaps the most impressive sequence from the film is the one that reminds you of color sketching. It has a vintage quality to it, which completely absorbs you into the dimension it tries to portray. Throughout the years, I have seen all different kinds of animation, but this one might just be the most memorable because of how unique the texture and the technique they used to bring this sequence to life.
だとか未来とかって言葉がどれだけ手をそれはまるで
夢の景色のようにただひたすらに美しい眺めだった。
So, why study the film? Well, apart from the fact that Kimi no Nawa is now the highest grossing anime worldwide of all time, where it dominates box office and breaks all kinds of records, the film also bears significant cultural resonance with the Japanese. The film features a deadly comet that is actually an allusion to the 2011 Japanese earthquake and tsunami in Tohoku. This sentiment is echoed in the film, and it ties into the narrative pretty critically. But more importantly, the film speaks to the heart of its viewers more than anything else. Film fans has once again proven how powerful a film can be. It actually boosts tourism in Japan because of how much they love this film. And today, I want to prove it to you not by statistics and numbers, but from my own personal experience. Last year in July, I've had the honor to perform in Tokyo Opera City Concert Hall with a festival orchestra, and I have half-day free to explore Tokyo. And guess what I did? I actually went to the places in the film that's in Tokyo, and I even embarrassed myself with my first ever cosplay that I would otherwise never do it in my life. I guess it just proves how powerful a film can be. It really transcends above techniques and crafts. I experienced firsthand from this photo, as a victim of a nerd or a fan, call it whatever you want. I know that filmmaking at its core sounds cheesy, but it really is about love and passion. Now, I know that not everyone likes anime, but I hope today my presentation will tell you otherwise, and this impulse from me is also shared among online critics.
Guys, if you're movie lovers, and I'm pretty sure most of you are, give anime a try. In my opinion, I prefer it over American animation, that's the honest truth.
Now, I'm not saying which one is better. Obviously, what you grew up watching will have a tremendous impact on what kind of media you prefer. I still think Ratatouille and Wall-E are not only some of the best animations out there, but some of the best films ever made. The sense of unadulterated wonderment while I was watching Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin is unparalleled from all the other things I've ever watched. But there is something really special about anime. Usually when you think it's too melodramatic for a live action film, like it could be perfect in an anime because its animation allowed it to afford a greater sense of suspension of disbelief, and at the same time it breaks away from Disney's PG-13 zone and allows some genuinely dark and mature content to shine. So what's there to watch apart from every Miyazaki and Takahata film, you may ask? Well, there is actually Whisper of the Heart, which is surprisingly a Studio Ghibli film that is not made by Miyazaki nor Takahata. And if you're ready to experience something different, you can actually try watch films that are made by Mamoru Hosoda. His most famous works are Wolf Children and The Boy and the Beast, which I absolutely adore. But they are more than just fantasy movies. They are actually grounded emotional dramas that deal with real human problems like social anxiety, disability, and redemption. Kono Katachi, aka A Silent Voice, will be your best choice. So once you find yourself with more time and start to like some anime films, the real gems are actually in the series and the shows, because they have literally every genre that you want. And if you just want to cut right into the best one, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is a masterpiece with dark and philosophical themes to criticize the human condition with an action-packed series. Maybe you're an action fan who fancies some of the coolest action sequences that are otherwise not possible in a live-action film while having suspense and horror. Attack on Titan is your best bet. Or hell, maybe you just want to laugh and have a good time with a stronger superhero who is bald in One Punch Man. Or maybe you prefer an emotional drama with an interesting mystery that's only 11 chapters long in Erased. On top of that, Your Lie in April will make you cry and cry and cry in a beautifully animated show that's about classical music. Maybe you have already grown tired of the Star Wars and Harry Potter universe and you want to seek the most interesting characters in the grandest adventure in Hunter x Hunter. Maybe you're a smart writer who enjoy a morally sophisticated detective show that leaves you pondering about justice and evil in Death Note. Or maybe you just want to go back to some classic original genre of anime that will boil your heart up in My Hero Academia. That's all really up to you. I guess the worst thing you can do is to have a closed mind, or being apathetic to anything new, or judge the art before you allow yourself to enjoy it. Remind yourself why you are here at the first place. For me, I can always trace back to a piece of work that speaks to me personally and deeply, and I hope one day I can create something similar that will speak to the rest of the world. And of course, after you've watched hundreds and hundreds of movies, you start to arm yourself with a critical lens where you always compartmentalize a film into writing, directing, characters and music. But once in a while, something like this will remind you what matters the most is actually your feelings, your passion. It doesn't matter if the film is not perfect, if it is not collectively regarded as a masterpiece. What matters is your subjectivity, your opinion, your enjoyment of a film, and you know that there is something out there that is special to you that you haven't seen, and I bet it is in the anime world. So what's the point of all this after 10 minutes of non-stop praising on anime? I guess my point is, in September 2016, when I was alone in my crappy apartment, I watched this anime, and I know that this film is special to me. I hope that if you give this film a shot and let this to be your first anime experience, you can also experience the same magic as I did. And I guess this goes without saying, but I hope you enjoy the film.